Google, restart video.
Hey everyone, Scott Innes, voice actor, Hollywood actor, movie star. Don't believe all that. I'm a legend in my own mind. Hey, you know me better as the voice of some of the most popular cartoon characters in the world. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, Scrappy-Dappy-Doo, Puppy Power, like in Shaggy too. And you've got the Sullivan Project podcast coming at you right now.
Hey Google, stop. Hey everyone, what's up? It's the Sullivan Project podcast, and I'm Harold, your host. Hopefully you can see me good on here. I'm blind. About a year and a half ago I went blind, and we're going to talk about some different things here. And this podcast is for everyone. Everyone has a story, and you can't judge a book by its cover. So if you want to be on the podcast, contact me, or if you have any stuff you want us to talk about. I have guests sometimes. We do audio and video. Get at me at Harold Sullivan 78 on TikTok, Harold Sullivan 78 Facebook, Harold Sullivan period 35, or Harold Sullivan 78 YouTube and TikTok. Sorry, Harold Sullivan on Facebook is Harold Sullivan period 35. Okay. So let me talk about a couple of teachers that were, or people that were inspirational to me when I was younger. I remember Miss West when I was in elementary, and she used to sing songs and read books to us. And she was kind of one of my first creative, inspirational people. And this was whenever I went to a disabled school. It was called D.T. Watson. Before they would let people go to regular schools that were physically and mentally disabled, we were all put together. And it was just, I didn't have too many fond experiences with that, except for the kids, and some of the teachers were nice. Another lady years later, through advocacy, was kind of like a big brother, big sister type. Her name was Anita, and she actually got me into playing piano, and I used to play piano recitals. Can't do my fingers much, but I do one at a time. And I did a couple, so she had me playing keyboard, piano, and I remember going to her house and having food and watching The Return to Oz when I was younger. It was a movie was out, the sequel to Wizard of Oz. In case you haven't checked it out yet. And then in high school, I had a teacher named Mr. Browning, and my sister actually had him years and years before that in high school. And he was still around. He never aged or looked any different, it seemed like. And I bet he's still going now. God bless him. I used to run into him once in a while when I was out on the bus before I lost my sight. And he was very nice to me. You know, he let me do the work. He didn't, treat me differently. You know, and I appreciate him for that. Also, some other stuff. When I was younger, yeah, we lived in the projects, and we didn't have much and not much money, and so things we did like for a snack was my mom used to freeze chocolate milk in ice cube trays, and she would cut up straws and put them in there for little sticks. I mean, I don't know if anybody wants to do that now, but you could. It was homemade popsicles for us. And then also, she used to put butter on a lot of stuff, like butter on pound cake. That was like a delicacy. Or like we would have cinnamon sugar toast with butter, and or some kind of like nut roll with butter. I don't know what it was, but butter. Yeah. Uh, and then ice cream man. Yeah, I don't know anybody else that had a bill with ice cream man. But when I was around 11 and we lived in Longstown, my mom had like a $200 bill. She used to get cigarettes and pop and all that. And then she would actually send me out, and I was underage, he'd give me the stuff, and then I'd get ice cream for my friends and that. But then I couldn't get any more because she wouldn't pay the bill, so I couldn't get ice cream anymore. So, um, so recently, let's see, who was it? Or I want to talk about. I met Mr. Rogers when I was very young at Children's Hospital, also, and I also met Mr. McFeely at the Beaver Valley Mall years after that. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, I need a Miss Westminster Browning.
Hey Google, delete the first one.
Done. It's forgotten.
Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, ice cream and chocolate milk or butter. Second, Franco Harris Gene Roddenberry time travel. Third, ghost site.
Hey Google, delete the first one.
Done. It's
Okay,
forgotten.
so Franco Harris passed away recently. God bless him, only 72, I believe he said. I met Franco Harris too when I was real young with the Easter Seals, I believe it was. It was an organization. And he picked me up, and I was in pain because I couldn't walk very well. I don't remember if I walked a couple steps or if he just lifted me up. But I used to have a whole football song by that whole team from like 80, 81. It was one of their championship teams. I was like 2 or 3 or 4 maybe. And Bradshaw, Swan, they all signed it. But when my mom had got with another guy after my dad, my stepsisters literally tore this NFL leather football apart somehow. When I came home one day, it was shredded like animals had ate it and ruined it. I had it sitting in the box on my dresser for a while. But yeah, I had that. And then also I want to talk about Gene Roddenberry, the guy who created Star Trek and lots of other shows, Andromeda and a bunch of other Star Trek. He was into psychic stuff and all that kind of stuff. So he used to sit in with the government who used to do things like remote viewing and whatnot. And so he came up with a lot of ideas. And I believe that Gene Roddenberry sat in on sessions where he knew about the future, okay? And I don't think of the future as different things. I think of it all as one time, past, present, future, right now. But he knew Star Trek had things like cell phones, okay? In the 60s, they had touchscreen tablets. They had all these things that are we're just now getting. And somehow he knew and wrote this into his stuff. And that's because he would sit on these sessions and listen to what these psychics were just blurring out, that they're blabbing out that they heard or they saw. And Gene Roddenberry knew. Now the government's also saying that they've invented warp drive in theory, and basically, if you could go fast enough inside, they could build a shell that will not harm the person because a person can't go fast enough to go warp speed. The way our bodies are, but if they can build a shell that will protect them, and then the outside will go fast enough, then they think that they could go warp speed. But to me, I think of time travel as more or less quantum leap or total recall. Okay, it it's not really you go back and you can, but maybe you can go into someone's mind or their memories and view that. Okay, and back and forth, but you can't actually go to a different place. So it's kind of like people who have past life memories when they go to sleep, or that kind of thing. They're able to tap in. You could maybe get into a memory and view it from a different time that you weren't in, or even unlock your own past memory in your mind. Because I believe we were all here before, and this is just a vessel for now. So the knowledge is in there. It's just erased or we forget most of it. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember? This is deep stuff here. Hey
My
Google,
first memory.
what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, Franco Harris, Gene Roddenberry.
Hey Google,
time
delete the
travel.
first one.
Done. It's forgotten.
Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, ghost site. Second, crystals, conspiracies, moon, UFO movies.
Okay. Let's see here. How about UFO movies? The best ones, huh? Fire in the Sky, based on a true story by Travis Walton. Close Encounters. Of course, everybody knows that. Let's see what else. If you want to go for, well, we got E.T. of course, and we got Mac and Me, and then we got The Predator, and we got I Come in Peace, and if you want to go comedy, we got Paul, we got Alien, of course, that's another horror movie. What is it called? Uh, the one by Shyamalan. Signs. Very good movie, Signs. I mean, there's lots of good UFO movies out there. And of course, the X-Files, and then you have the shows like Unsolved Mysteries and Sightings and Unexplained and different ghost site. That's something I just wondered recently. Okay, now when we see ghosts and stuff, apparently it's like an accident or whatever, blurry thing. But can they see us? Is it the same way? Because if you think about it, it's all going on. A ghost doesn't even have to be someone who's dead. A ghost could be an event that happened and that person's still alive, but maybe the other person's dead. Or maybe they're not both dead. It's just a reoccurring event, almost like an echo or a recorder. Because this earth has lots of different minerals and different things going on, and the different electro waves and things that we can't see, and all that holds things and processes things. And so we got these things going on that we don't even know. We can't see, we can't hear, but we can sometimes, and vice versa. So I wonder, what does ghost sight? Is it like we see them, or is it vice versa? You know what I mean? Or is it different? Like, can they see us clearly and see us and hear us clearly? Or is it like we do with them? So, hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, ghost site. Second, crystals, conspiracies, moon, UFO movies.
Hey Google, delete the first one.
Done. It's forgotten.
Oh, the moon, yeah. As far as that, yeah, the moon. I don't believe that they land on the moon when they said they did, okay? Now, recently they said that within like 20 years they're going to have stuff on the moon and scientists working and all that. But they've already had that years ago, and they either abandoned it or it's still going on below the surface. So that's how they're able to keep things, and they can live there for years down below the surface. They also have all kinds of other stuff up there, and they even say there's a crashed UFO on them. But there's reasons why they didn't go back, and they didn't want to go back for a long time. And if they did go at all, I don't believe it was that first one. I believe that was set in an airplane hangar somewhere, some kind of Hollywood setup. The one that was broadcasted in the 60s, that was not live, it was not real. It was just set up, okay? But maybe they did go back later on, and whatnot. But I don't think that I just don't feel that that was real. So, it's a conspiracy. I'm into that kind of thing. So, other conspiracies, like Bigfoot and stuff. The government, even with this virus, I believe they put that out there, just like Resident Evil. Before they got the virus, they got the cure. You know what I mean? They put stuff in the water. Where was cancer at years ago? Where was all these diseases at now? They got names for everything, but I think that's just a way to sell you a pill. And hey, you got this, and that wrong with you. God don't make mistakes. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You might have problems, we all do. But it doesn't make anything wrong with you, and you're not a freak or a mistake or an accident. I don't believe in coincidences, mistakes, or accidents. Alright? Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 7:37.
Okay, we're doing good here. I talk a little fast though, but I'm going on a different frequency. Like, I'm vibrating faster. And I realize that more and more, so I gotta slow down and try to talk. I want people to understand me. Since I went blind about a year and a half ago, all my psychic stuff and empathic, all that's been kicking in more and more. So, let's talk about crystals. Yeah, on this arm, I have green phantom quartz, and then I have sapphire on my left. So, left is receive, right is give if you wear jewelry. So, for as far as crystals and stuff, I also have green. I also have pink quartz, which is like love. Quartz is good for mostly anything. Clear quartz can take the place of anything. I got some black tourmaline. That's good for like getting rid of positive and bringing negative, or get rid of negative and bring positive. What else here? I got some angelite. I'm not sure what that's for. I'm sure it's protection and clear. I also have amethyst, which when I pick that up, I can actually, when I close my eyes, I'm starting to see aura lately, like a blue, green. So the amethyst, I actually notice when I pick it up and I wave my arm, that the blue is strong. The blue is stronger. So these things are for real. I'm going to start selling hopefully in the future here. I got crystals. They're not going to be expensive. They're just going to be by donation, a couple of dollars. But then I'm making essential oils. I have some different brands or different names. The newest one's called Supernatural, which is just a chill, calm, like protect you, clear you, and it's named after the TV show, of course. But then I have ones named after me, H3, and then my friend who just had a baby, Divine Spark, and then Forever Essence is another name. Please don't take the names, but if you do, that's okay because we're getting it out there, the energy. It's all about love, all right? You know, like I said, love is, we all have a choice, you know. Uh, Respond, don't react. You have a choice of how you act when someone comes at you or something comes at you. It doesn't have to be a certain way. It can be whatever way you want it to, and things don't have to go the way you think they should or the way that you want. Okay, spirit time and God time is not our time. Again, there's no such thing as time, and stuff has to be set up. So being impatient, we don't got the whole picture right now. We wouldn't be able to understand that or get it all at once. We can only get little bits at a time. That's all this human body can handle, especially with psychic and stuff. You can get little bits at a time. You can't know everything. This body would explode. The human soul is just a little spark of energy connected to the whole collective conscience. And that's why I say God, we are, God are we are God. We are all just this little droplet, okay, in the universe, and we're all connected to the higher. We all have three bodies. You come down, this is one, this is the vessel. There's a higher body that's attached still to the collective, and then there's the one that leaves our body, like when we go to sleep, or just we're able to people. You can walk around when you go to sleep. You can go to other people's dreams. You can go back into your past life, and just because there's no past, present, future. This is all possible. Think about this deep stuff. Like I said, time travel. People really do time travel all the time. It's like you hear a song, or you eat something, or you smell something. It reminds you of a past memory. Then you instantly have that feeling. It could be good or bad, and you're taken back to that place and time. That's time travel. There is no, get in the machine and go back. Like I said, maybe you could relive someone else's memories, or you could see them if you could connect that way, like quantum leap. But it would be more like a total recall in that machine type thing, probably. But there's no time machine type thing, I don't think. So again, Harold Sullivan 35 on Facebook, Harold Sullivan 78 on TikTok, Harold Sullivan 78 on YouTube if you want to be a guest. We talk about everything on here, catfishing. We talk about, and that's like the catfishing where people pretend to be something else. Anything you want to get out, you know what I mean? Do it, get clear, get clean where you can. You will feel better. Don't carry stuff that you don't have to, or don't do dirt, because it's going to come back to you. You don't just go around and get out of free. This ain't a get out of free, or get out of jail free, or just do dirt to people. No matter what, you get what you put out. So, if we talk about movies too, sports, music, entertainment, metaphysical, supernatural, uh, spiritual, anything. Just hit me up. And I appreciate sharing, following me, liking the stuff. I got all kinds of stuff, paranormal stuff. Check out the channels. And we're going to sign off here. Let's go Pens, right? Pittsburgh Penguins. And this is Harold Sullivan. Remember, uh, be the light. And love is a choice. And so is the hate.